Go for it.
In this episode, excitement at Watkins Glen, NASCAR at Nashville, and the 101st Pikes Peak Hill Climb. Welcome to episode 234 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Morale, this past weekend, there was a lot of racing. I participated in a race.
Oh,
it was on
did you?
iRacing. It was 24 hours at the Nürburgring with IMSA cars.
Huh?
What? That's
IMSA
weird.
cars. What IMSA cars?
GTPs.
Whoa!
I was racing the Cadillac for 24 hours at the Nürburgring.
Good man.
Which does lap times in like the 17s. It's like
What, 17s?
7:11 was, I think, our fastest lap of the car.
Jesus!
It's moving, and that was with the GP track. So it's moving.
That's blisteringly quick.
It's fast. But we did okay. We started kind of near the back of the pack. Maybe no, it's been near the front. Finished 6th out of 18, which is not bad. Like 8 hours into that race, half the field was gone.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's kind of what you expect at the Nürburgring, though. So yeah.
Yeah.
There was one legend though that we need to have a conversation about. I can't remember his full name. It was John something. He did this race solo.
What?
There was one guy that did 24 at the Nürburgring in a Cadillac GTP alone.
What a legend.
He never driver changed at all.
So how did he pee? How did he poop?
I would imagine it's the minute pit stop that he has. It's like a minute and 10. It's like 55 seconds or something in the pits. I don't know how he did it. But he definitely came on the radio at the end of the race, and everybody was really curious because in theory there could have been like multiple people at the house, or they were like doing that kind of thing. That's fun. That's fine. But no, he got on the radio. Everybody's like, "Were you doing this solo?" He's like, "Yeah, I did this solo." Why? Why is the question? He said, "Because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it."
Good man.
Wow.
I want to have a drink with that guy.
I do too.
Man, wow. That is impressive.
Not only that, he finished on the podium.
What?
He finished 3rd.
How do you manage that?
He only crashed the car once.
So he must actually be an alien.
He didn't have like alien speed. He had good speed, but he was consistent.
No, he's an alien because he doesn't pee.
Maybe. Yeah. Or he's full diaper mode. I don't know. What a monster though. Jeez.
That's wild, man.
I've never seen that. I've seen streamers do like 12 hours solo for like charity and whatnot. I've never heard of anyone doing 24 solo.
So are you going to do the next 24 solo?
Heck no.
You sure?
No way. That's insanity. That is insane. Good for him though.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
Yeah.
Well
that's
done.
pretty cool.
Well done. But we should move on to some actual in-person racing that did happen.
There was a lot.
There was some, but there was really exciting racing.
Yes.
I mean, some of the best racing we've seen ever.
What do you want to talk about first?
I want to talk about Watkins Glen.
Okay.
I want to talk about IMSA. I want to talk about the chaos that ensued.
Yes.
I want to talk about how the start was just an absolute cluster of craziness.
All right. I only saw like the last hour of this race, so you got to fill me in for what happened.
You missed
the first 5.
The most insane start ever.
What happened?
So, everyone's all packed up, finishing their warm-up lap, and pace car lights go out. Safety car comes in, and GTP field goes green. One of the BMW GTP cars loses it on his own, unprovoked, in the first corner.
Oh, yes.
The very first corner, this BMW, rear end twitches a little bit. He thinks, I can save it. Snaps straight into the wall.
Oh, at Watkins Glen?
Yes.
There's like a big runoff.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
Was it rainy in the beginning?
No.
Oh.
There was no rain the entire race. Qualifying was rainy. There was supposed to be rain. All the forecasts said, rain looks like it could be a real problem here. Rain could be a problem. Not a drop of rain on race day.
Weird.
Dry conditions, unprovoked. Nobody touched him. Rear end stepped out slightly, and yoink, whole front right suspension dead.
Ooh.
Front right corner of the car does not exist anymore.
That's a bad start.
But that left him in a really bad spot because the GT field is right behind him.
Oh, did he go into the inside wall?
He went into the outside wall, but he thought, I can try to limp this home.
Oh, no.
And what happened was because that front right suspension doesn't exist anymore, the car just kind of hobbled its way into exactly the racing line.
Yeah.
And then he was beached. Then he couldn't really move for a little bit. Meanwhile, the entire GT field is still going green.
Yeah.
They did not wave off the start.
I don't think they can. Once the lead pack takes the start.
Yes, they can. Yeah.
Well, I get
they can go immediately. They can immediately go safety car. Yeah, full course caution.
Okay.
The problem is that BMW was so vulnerable. I am so surprised. I think it was so dangerous that they didn't immediately go safety car. Full course yellow. I mean, that could have been a life-ending accident.
Was he slow through the S's? The after turn 1 they have like that right and then left S.
He didn't even get there.
Oh, it was just like at
he
turn
was
1.
At apex of just out of the apex of T1.
Okay.
He was not even at the S's yet.
Gotcha.
They were showing it on the highlights. Well, not on the highlights, but on the replay. The corner worker, the flag worker, the most confusing thing in the world. The BMW loses it, throws a local yellow.
Yep.
But as the GT field comes by, he throws a green.
Yeah.
And then he's got the green waving, and then he goes yellow,
back to yellow,
green, yellow again, then green again. He's just like alternating flags.
I don't know the protocol there, but
I don't think he did either.
I would imagine it would just be wave the yellows.
Yeah. Like there's a dude parked on the apex. Like, let's not murder this man.
I know they're going green, but that's for the flag stand at the start finish.
Yeah. So it was craziness. Luckily, the whole GT field was able to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge around him. It reminded me of Sebring. Remember at Sebring, the LMP3 lost it at turn 1, right? And had the whole GT field going, oh! It kind of reminded me of that, but worse.
Exciting.
Oh my God.
Very exciting.
Oh my God. There was battles from pretty much green to checker. Yep. I was doing a lot of stuff around the house, and I'm so glad I had this race on all day because, God, this was so exciting. There was battles for LMP2. There was a bunch of LMP2 guys that were duking it out. A couple cars lost it. There's LMP3 battles everywhere. At one point, there was this like LMP3 bowling ball that took out 2 GT cars. Like, it was... I don't even understand. Like, the P3 just didn't break into a corner. Like, he maybe sneezed onto the brake pedal slightly, like an asthmatic mouse.
Oh boy! And
just strike. I mean, there was. Oh God, this race was amazing.
IMSA does deliver. Every time you watch it, it delivers, man.
Oh, it's so exciting. There was a huge GTP battle towards the end of the race, which we'll get to. But there was also big battles in GTD and GTD Pro. I mean, so one of my favorite cars in the field is the Wright Motorsports, the blue first form Porsche. That's GTD, not GTD Pro. They had a hell of a drive. They came from either 14th or 15th and finished P3.
Solid.
That's a good drive.
Yep.
Yeah. There was big GTD Pro battles. Corvette was duking it out with Lexus, and I think, what was it, an Aston or someone like that?
Yeah.
God, just...
Corvette had a good showing, if I recall.
Phenomenal race this was. Absolutely phenomenal race. But I think the parts that we really need to talk about, the end of the race. Let's start by not talking about the GTP, though. Let's talk about the BMW that ended on its roof.
Oh, yeah. Bill Arberlin, right?
How did that happen?
To my knowledge, he just lost it.
Yeah.
And then just stuffed it in the tires, and it kind of tumbled over.
The most veteran driver in the field.
Yeah, very odd.
That is not a very Bill Arberlin-y kind of thing to do.
No, not at all. And also, kind of an odd place to lose the car.
Very odd place.
Yeah.
That's kind of what everyone was all the commentators were like, how?
It was like the second to last corner on the track. So it's a left-hander, and then you go into the right-hander where the pit entry is. Yeah. It was like on that left-hander, he lost it on the exit curbs there, which you can run over those curves big time.
Pretty fine.
You could clobber him without any problem. And it looked like it hooked left. So he came through the left-hander and then went left into the wall and flipped the car.
Yeah. How? What?
I don't know. That was weird.
It was really odd.
Yeah.
But the big battle that we need to talk about, the GTP battle between Porsche and BMW.
Yeah. It's a good battle.
It was an amazing battle. And I do need to bitch about Peacock's coverage.
Okay.
Because, not to sound like a grumpy old man here, and to chime in with all the other sports car fans that bitch about Peacock's coverage, but from like 15 minutes left to go in the race, there were 3 commercial breaks. 15 minutes at like 11 minutes and 8 minutes.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
That's terrible.
Particularly considering like the race deciding moment happened right after they took a commercial break.
Yeah, there was like 9 minutes left or something like that. That is really bad. From their perspective, the more eyeballs, the more money from advertising, yada, yada, yada. More people will be watching at the end. I understand that.
I get that math, right?
That feels so bad as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I happen to be watching the international feed because a nerd, and I was on Reddit and found the link and yada, yada. I didn't see that, but I did see a bunch of people complaining online about the Peacock coverage and the bad timing with commercials.
It was bad.
Yeah. That's rough.
That was a race, man.
Mm-hmm. Good race. Porsche won.
Unofficially,
in my eyes, Porsche won.
They definitely won. Nick Taney and Matthew Jaminet drove the balls off that car.
They did. They had a good drive at the end of that race.
Matthew Jaminet was driving the living hell out of that car. And I got to say, Matthew Jaminet left the reporter with the best post-race interview I've ever heard.
Okay.
So the reporter asked Matthew Jaminet something along the lines of like, so, tell me what was going through your mind when you made that pass to win the race. And pardon my French here, but I'm quoting. He said, I just fucking sent it.
Yeah.
On live TV. On live TV, every ear was listening, and I'm just sitting there going, yes, my man, let's go. And then they immediately cut back to the broadcast booth and like, oh, we're going to sorry about the language here.
You can't say that on the live TV interview.
It was amazing.
All right.
Oh, what a legend.
He'll get a slap on the wrist for that, but they'll also pat him on the back for effectively winning the race because he did drive the crap out of that car to win the race.
Oh, he did.
I will say, BMW put up a better fight than I thought they would.
Yeah.
A much better fight than I thought that they would. And I am excited to see that they have pace. As far as the other GTP goes, I think that one of the other Porsches had problems. I don't know what happened to the yellow one or the Jota car. Not Jota.
The JDC Miller?
Yeah.
They were down in the order. They were finished P4.
Was it Ricky Taylor or Jordan Taylor that was like really struggling with the Acura?
Ricky Taylor. Jordan Taylor doesn't race the Acura.
That's right.
Jordan Taylor races that yellow Corvette there.
Yes. Ricky was struggling with that Acura, which is weird because he's a veteran driver. They should know that car really well.
They must have had a weird setup or something.
Something was not right with that.
Yeah.
The Cadillacs, did they look good? I didn't really
They
see
looked consistent.
Okay.
They didn't look blazing, but they didn't look slow. They looked consistent.
Okay.
They looked like if they just played their cards right and have a pretty clean race, that they could win it.
Yep. And it basically came down to the BMW versus the Porsche at the end. And it was traffic. It was classic IMSA traffic that created the situation for Porsche to get ahead.
Ton of traffic, which Porsche did finish the race in first place.
Yes.
But what's the official results say?
The official results say they are penalized.
No!
For a tech infraction.
No!
Yeah.
No!
I was a little shocked to see this when I was like going to bed on Sunday night and sent you this article about the number 6 Porsche actually losing its victory.
Yeah.
What's the tech infraction?
Okay. So, let me explain. When they did post-race tech, they found the Porsche's front skid block to be less than 1 millimeter too thin.
Okay.
So, I have a theory. Not conspiracy, not BOP. You can put the tinfoil away. I promise. It's an actual theory.
Okay.
So, when I was watching the race, every time a GTP would have to go deep to the inside going through, was it the inner loop? Where you have the sharp right, left, right?
The bus stop?
The chicanes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
chicanes,
bus stop, the inner loop, whatever you want to call it.
What do you want to call it? they were kicking up a ton of sparks.
Yeah.
Like a ridiculous amount of sparks. Could that less than 1 millimeter be due to just too much rubbing through there?
Yeah, the skid block is made of, I think it's titanium, and that's why you see the sparking.
Yeah.
Which is the material that does get shaved away over the course of the race. Yes, that is exactly what they measure. So, in that case...
Is it because they had so much traffic, they had to go to the inside more?
Could be. I'd imagine if you're the team, you start that at a thickness, assuming that throughout the race, based on practice wear, it's going to wear down X millimeters throughout the race.
Yeah.
I guess they judged it wrong, or the pressures were too low, or the suspension was too low, so it bottomed out too much. That's kind of what it seems like based on the infraction that they failed here.
So I'm a little bitter that they did take the win, though.
Yeah, I am too. And the reason being, they didn't take the Rolex win from the Acura.
That's exactly my thoughts.
Yeah.
Is they took the points and the prize money away from the Acura that won the Rolex but was found to be cheating. But the Porsche has to be DQ'd when it was such a less... It's like an actual wear and tear, not like an actual cheat.
It got sent to the back of its lap, but it didn't get DQ'd. The Acura, they only found the infraction because they were notified from the tire manufacturer like weeks after the race. This is post-race tech. If you fail post-race tech, you go to the back of your class. That's just how it works. That's how the rules are written. That's fine. So if the Acura would have failed post-race tech, they would have had the win removed. This is just a different situation. I'm still peeved that they didn't remove the win from the Acura because it was a much bigger infraction than this.
Well, it was also an actual cheat.
It was.
It was like a deliberate cheat, not just like a little bit of wear and tear. Right. Actual cheating.
But at the same time, if you're in IMSA's shoes and this Penske somehow word gets around that they didn't get sent to the end of their class and they still failed tech, what do you think all the other teams are going to do? They're going to run lower skid blocks, and it becomes unsafe. So they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there. They can't not abide by their own rules if he fails post-race tech. It just happened to fall upon this car, and they rubbed too much titanium away on the bottom of the under tray. It doesn't feel great, but they are enforcing the rules that they have specified. And Porsche knew these rules going into this race. This is not a new thing. So I don't know.
I still think the Acura should have had the win removed.
I totally agree. Yeah, but it's different. It's not the same to give the win to who was in second at the Rolex. I don't even remember.
No idea.
Is it a Cadillac? Regardless, a Porsche, Cadillac, whatever it is, you don't get the podium celebration. You don't get the watch ceremony. You're not at the track. It would have been like 2 weeks after, and it would have been, weirdly enough, the Rolexes now are not part of those drivers.
I get it.
Yeah.
But you know what this does mean, though?
What?
This means that BMW officially won the race.
That is true.
This is their first win.
Kind of.
This is BMW GTPs, the RLL Lanigan Racing, whatever it is. Right. It's their first GTP win.
By the books, it is their first win. So that means every manufacturer's won. Every manufacturer's won. BMW's won?
One.
Yeah. Cadillac's won. Porsche's won. And who's the other one?
What? Acura?
Yeah.
Cadillac, Porsche, Acura, BMW.
Yes. All of them have won.
Yeah, actually, I think it was either Conde de Felipe or Nicolini was actually quoted saying, it's good to win, but I didn't want to win like this.
No, it doesn't feel right to win like that.
Your first win?
It feels bad. That feels bad to win like that. Yeah.
Not a great look.
No, not a good look for Porsche, not a good look for IMSA, not even a good look for BMW. You want to see the car on track win the race.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Real quick, before we move on from the Sahlens 6 Hours of the Glen, your GTD winner was a Lexus. Your GTD Pro winner was a Lexus.
Well,
the Lexus got good BOP, maybe?
Yeah, it's kind of,
it would appear.
There was a good battle, I will say that.
There was a great battle.
It didn't seem too BOP-ish to me.
No, it didn't. It's just funny how the Lexus is one.
I think that there's a stat that that hasn't happened in a long time. It hasn't been both the GT of the same manufacturer in a long time.
And it's funny because it's the oldest car in the field.
New Ferrari. Is BMW older?
No, BMW's way newer.
Yeah, you're right, because it was the big one. Porsche's
it's older
new.
than the Corvette. It's
Right.
older than everything.
Yeah, you're right.
The RCF is the oldest car in the field.
Still, it's kind of a goofy car. Really is.
It is kind of goofy. And the rear aero diffuser drag cutters just look so wild.
It's kind of a goofy car.
It is.
But good for them.
Yeah. They won. They both won. It was just a hell of a race. Hell of a race.
All right. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Okay. There was some other racing.
What was there?
There was some good old NASCAR.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Where were they?
NASCAR was out at Nashville Superspeedway. They had
the
a pretty good
Superspeedway
race.
that's not really in Nashville?
Yeah, it's kind of outside of Nashville. It's like an hour outside of Nashville. But,
it's close enough.
It's close enough. That's kind of how racing works. The cars are loud. They put them away from the downtown. Except in the upcoming race this next weekend for NASCAR, where they're in downtown Chicago, baby. Whoa.
You got your bulletproof vest with you?
You better.
The memes have been amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, this race, 1.5 mile oval, I believe. This is the classic NASCAR, which is good to see. And some quick notes here. There was one kind of odd wreck that was specifically for, I think it was Ryan Blaney. And he hit the wall. He hit the inside
yellow
wall.
car, right?
Yeah. He nailed the inside wall in a weird way where he was sliding across grass, caught pavement, the car gripped up and like shot him into the inside wall really hard. And he hit it straight on, kind of like the Dale Earnhardt straight on kind of crash.
Yeah.
Almost scary kind of crash.
Yeah, it was not a good look.
No. He got out of that car, went to the safety, and I think the interview that he had, he was like, that was the most violent accident I've ever had in my career.
I can understand why.
Yeah. It was straight new concrete wall going faster than anyone thought he was going to go.
Yeah, that was a head-on collision.
Yeah, like, it was pretty nasty.
Head-on collision.
Right.
That was a pretty gnarly one.
It is very reminiscent of the Dale Earnhardt wreck. Though he was on the outside wall, Blaney happened to grip up on the inside wall. And I suspect that next year we'll see safer barriers at where that part of the track is.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should kind of have them all over the racetrack as far as they can because they are good. But this race overall was kind of a story of one man.
It was.
The watermelon legend himself, Mr. Ross Chastain.
The watermelon legend himself. Oh, yeah, there's Ryan Blaney right there.
You know, he was a watermelon farmer.
Yes.
Yep. And that's his thing. After the race, he breaks the watermelon and eats them.
There you go.
It's kind of wild. He started the race in first, went full Max Verstappen, and finished the race in first.
There you go. Ross Chastain. There you go.
He didn't lead every lap like Max would have.
Laps led for Ross Chastain, 99.
Of 300, though.
Correct.
So,
but he led a third of the race.
Nearly a third of the race. Yes.
As near as makes no difference, a third of the race.
Yes, he led a third of the race. It was a darn good race. There was a specific moment where Ross Chastain split some 2-lap cars to keep his lead with like 5 or 10 laps left.
Wild.
Yeah, he's well known in the garage for pushing the limit, not afraid to punt people, kind of a wild driver. It's come back to bite him a lot, more than a lot, actually, most of the time. But this time it worked for him.
Yeah.
And you know what? Good for him.
Yeah, good on him.
Yep. Pretty entertaining race.
Yeah, that's it's exciting, and that was a scary crash to watch.
I will say I saw a lot more passing in side-by-side action than I've ever seen in any F1 race or even whole season.
In both IMSA and NASCAR.
Yes.
Yeah. Much more exciting.
Yes.
Now, there was one other motorsports event that did happen this past weekend, which it's not really super widely televised, but it is Pikes Peak.
Ah.
Yes, Pikes Peak, the International Hill Climb. It was the 101st running of it. So there's just a few pictures of some of the cool cars to see, but I just want to quickly make a note. What a thing. Man, Pikes Peak is wild.
What a cool hill climb event. For those who don't know, you literally start at the bottom of a giant mountain and you like race to the top of this mountain. Very dangerous. There's like every couple of years you'll hear of somebody flying off the cliff and dying from just losing the car or a mechanical failure or something. It's very dangerous, but it is very cool. It's epic. It's fully paved now. That's somewhat recent.
Yep.
It used to be half dirt, half pavement. Now it's fully paved. But cool cars, like way different concept from the race cars that we're used to.
Yeah.
The hill climb cars all have massive wings and massive aero, and as you
really
go
big turbochargers.
Right, and as you go up in altitude, you lose horsepower and the air gets thinner. The car drives differently. It's cool. It's super cool.
It's a very weird event.
Yes, it is.
That is actually one of the weird things.
What is
it's
that?
a Ford Supervan.
What? That is wild.
Yeah, and that actually won its division.
That's cool.
That won the Pikes Peak Open. You know how fast that freaking van went up Pikes Peak?
Is that a van? That thing
is
so weird.
It is a van.
Wow.
It went up Pikes Peak 8 minutes 47 seconds.
Wow.
That I've driven Pikes Peak in a Tacoma. That is scary.
Yeah.
That is scary is what that is. In a van.
That's crazy.
There was the Radford came out, which was Jensen Button's like bespoke car company that had, I think, Tanner Faust was driving for them. There was that Alpine A110.
That looks cool.
It does look cool. Word around the block, Alpine may be coming to the U.S.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Little teaser there.
That's kind of cool.
Little teaser.
Okay.
But God, what a freaking race this is.
Yeah. This is I think that there are more hill climbs that happen around the country, but this is definitely most popular and most well known.
This is the one that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Right.
It is the Le Mans of the WEC races.
Of the hill climbs.
Yeah, of the hill climbs. That's what
yes.
It is.
This is the hill climb you want to do.
Right.
This is the one that everyone strives for. You get these like weird like open wheeled formula looking things. Then you get pickup trucks. You get a go-kart shifter cart thing. You get an S2000.
Yep.
You get all sorts of weird. You get vans. You get everything you can possibly imagine.
Do you know who was fastest or what car was the winner?
Yep. It was Robin Shoot in the Unlimited division, which did it in a car that we won't understand because it's one of those. It's that thing right there. That is the actual car, which is a Wolf TSC-FS.
It looks like a Formula One car meets a hill climb car.
Yeah. It's like a Formula Indy hill climb car
kinda
thing.
Weird. Okay, cool.
But of the cars that we can actually see and understand what they are, we had, let's see, the Romain Dumas won in that Ford Supervan, which Romain Dumas, he's won Pikes Peak overall many times. Then you had, let's see, Time Attack 1. That was a GT2 RS Club Sport.
Cool.
And there was just a lot of different classes too. But either way, such a cool event.
Neat. Super neat.
Yeah, definitely. So coming up this weekend, there are some more races to watch. Very busy weekend for the motorsports enthusiast. Starting out, you've got one of our favorite races, the 24 Hours of Spa.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's coming up this weekend.
SRO.
Yes, sir. You've got F1 takes on the Austrian Grand Prix at Red Bull Ring.
Okay.
You have NASCAR on the streets of Chicago.
Honestly, I don't know what I'm more excited for, the 24 Spa or NASCAR at Chicago.
What do you want to watch? Would you want a crashes or racecraft?
Racecraft will be at Spa. I agree with that. I kind of want to see the shit show that's going to be Chicago.
It's going to be a shit show.
It's going
to be one of the biggest shit shows we've seen in a very long time. But then the other very good quality of racing, Indy, is at Mid-Ohio.
That will be good.
That will be excellent.
That's going to be a sleeper race that you should actually watch.
So that's going to be like the other weekend when I watched the F1 Canadian Grand Prix when Indy at Road America was like the most exciting open wheel race that happened in like 5 years, right? Yeah. I think if you're going to watch an open wheel race, watch Indy.
At Mid-Ohio. Okay.
Yep. Don't watch F1. But you should also have the 24 Hours of Spa going all weekend.
Right.
But you should also just tune in NASCAR just to see the calamity.
Yeah.
It's going to be calamity.
It's going to be. The first time that they go to Streets of Anywhere is usually chaos.
It is complete and utter chaos.
Yes.
It is the textbook definition of chaos.
There is worries about crime and whatnot in Chicago. I'm sure they'll have the police force there.
That's not going to be enough.
I hope so.
They're going to need the FBI, the CIA, the Army, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Space Force.
Send them in, baby. I want to see those NASCARs duking it out on the streets. It's going to be, they're going to be bumping and grinding, and it's going to be great.
Meanwhile, someone does a drive-by.
That's just par for the course.
Is that how you have to do the pits at Chicago? Is you have to make sure you don't get hit by the NASCAR driver that has to do a drive-by to their competitor?
I don't know, but I have family that was in town last week from Chicago, and I was like, hey, are you guys going to go check out the race? I was like, no, it's not safe down there. I was like, okay. All right. Yikes.
Well, so there's that, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh.
Going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch, for sure. Yeah. So that's all I've got for episode 234. Do you have anything else?
I do not.
It's going to wrap us up then. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel, drop a thumbs up on the video, and leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the whole Porsche Penske penalty Watkins Glen debacle. Should they have had the win removed? Should they not? Let us know. And if you're listening on audio only, send us those thoughts via social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. So thanks again. Catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.